girls and Metalheads of the world, it's Overland Metalhead here. It's a nice sunny day in the south of Stockholm, and today I'm gonna leave my part of Stockholm and head south, because I'm gonna do something very special for you all. I am visiting the grave of Dead from Mayhem. Now, when I first came to Stockholm 2 years ago, I thought Dead was buried in Southern Garden, that cemetery where Greta Garbo and Pelle Lindbergh are buried. He's not. Some person from findagrave.com hasn't fixed it up. So I've been on the internet, looked it up, and it's a bit further south. So you've got to go to the very ends of the line in Farsa, and then you have to take a few buses. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I mean, the buses are not gonna leave until after lunchtime, so I'm just gonna get some lunch. Now, I've been a fan of black metal for the last 10 years. I saw Mayhem at Hellfest in 2011, but it's just the history of black metal. There was, Dead from Mayhem. He blew his brains out in a hut in south of Oslo, not far from Ski, or they spelled ski in Norway. And then Bod Fast, Kill That Gay Guy, and Lillehammer, and then Euronymous and Varg's Vikings. They just burnt churches, and then all of a sudden Varg's Vikings killed Euronymous in 1993. And that's what excited me a lot about black metal. So it's going to be quite a bit of a pilgrimage to visit Dead's grave today. I mean, I probably should bring some flowers, because it was kind of funny on Friday. I bought flowers for Greta Garbo, but the flowers they were too pretty for Greta Garbo, but not stunning for Quathron. Just leaving Little now. Got these two for 16 krona, or £1.60. Actually, I think £1 actually buys 11 krona. So this is what I've been doing. Been waiting at a bus stop. I need to wait for the 742 bus, and it will take me to this train station here, Trangsud. Yes. I don't think it leaves a couple of times, an hour, twice an hour. So keep that in mind. If you interesting fact you might not know about Dead from Mayhem was he actually made a cameo appearance in what's that band? I think a doom metal band. Candlemass, yeah. Yeah, he made a cameo appearance in Candlemass Bewitched video, which was around 1988. So it's kind of interesting he was in that video, because at the time he was in Mayhem, and I mean, Mayhem already put out Death Crush a couple of years earlier. So, it's quite interesting how, Mayhem were from Norway, but Dead was actually from Sweden. Okay, so right now, I'm at this station, Trangsud. I need to get all the way down to this station here, Österhaninge. And that's leaving in about 5 minutes. Yeah. So these trains are much different to usual metro. I mean, when you look here, I've left from Farsa, I'm going Trangsud. I mean, it's still part of Stockholm Metro, but it's just a bit different. Just different numbers, yeah. Okay, here comes my metro train, which surprisingly I thought it was going to be a standard train, but it's not. So my bus has dropped me off right here. So the church where Dead is buried is across the road over there. He's buried in Österhaninge here. Kardaka must mean church in Swedish. So Dead's in that cemetery over there, so we just have to walk up the road. I don't know how I'm going to be able to get back home. I mean, if that's a bus stop, I guess I'll have to walk a bit. No, actually, sorry, the bus stop to get back is over there. So I'll just look at the times right now. So you got to remember the times when you come here, because you're pretty much out in the middle of nowhere, but you're not far from the train station today. I mean, the next bus to come by here is not till 5 o'clock. But But I mean, I could get lucky if I just do my grave hunting quickly and then just get back. So this is the Lutheran Church of Sweden. That's the Church of Sweden flag flying over there, and I'm in the cemetery grounds. So hopefully it shouldn't take too long to find dead. Like, I know what his grave looks like. It's really oddly shaped, bit of a curve shaped. So hopefully it won't take. Fortunately, in this cemetery, Dead from Mayhem does not rest here. I don't know how Google Maps has pinpointed me to this one. I just cut and paste something off the internet that told me where it was. So I'm pretty sure Dead is buried in this town area. So I have to keep looking for other cemeteries. I'm taking a walk in the woods and I'm trying to head a bit north. I'm closing in on some roads because there's another cemetery nearby. It just says cemetery Österhaninge. So like it's a bit north of where that church I've just been to. So I've just found the road right here, and I just have to go around. So if Dad is not in this cemetery, I don't know where else in this part of the south of Stockholm he's buried. So I mean, hopefully he's buried here, otherwise I'm going to be really upset. So this part of the cemetery I might have seen in videos, so maybe Dad is buried in this area, otherwise I need to keep. So I found the grave of Pelle Olin. He was born in 1969 and he died aged 22 in 1991. His gravestone has changed in the last couple of years just because of the colour. But if you need some help finding it, his grave number is 2384. So I feel quite honoured to stand here at the grave of Dead of Mayhem. This man here was a huge influence in the Norwegian black metal scene in the 80s and the 90s. May his legacy live on to this very day. Hail Satan, hail Satan, hail Satan. So if you want to find the grave of Dead, the important landmark in the cemetery is this cross here and this thing here. And so the grave of Dead, it goes all the way up to that path and past those bushes on that side. So before I go back home today, I forgot to bring some flowers for Dad because there's nobody selling flowers on the side of the road. So I might as well just give these flowers a drink. You alright, Dad? So it's quite shocking that a couple of fans have left photographs of Dead's body, you know, from that bootleg Mayhem album. Like, there's no peace, follow the freezing moon, kill yourself. And also someone from Bulgaria's left Bulgarian Lev, so that's quite very remarkable. So here's a map of the cemetery, and according to my Google Maps, where my pinpoint location, I'm right here, because this is a parking lot. So, Dead, he was buried in this section, like 221, 2468. So just, as I previously just said, walk through these gates, go down to the where the cross is and where that little monument is, and turn like left and keep going left, and you should be able to find. Now, I feel quite accomplished that I've now been to Quathron's grave. I've now been to Dead's grave. And I have been to Euronymous' grave, but like I was walking through it in snow in January, and I just couldn't remember what Euronymous' birth name was. I mean, his grave doesn't say Euronymous. It doesn't say that. I mean, neither does Dead's grave. Dead's grave doesn't say Dead, and then Quathrin's grave doesn't say Quathrin. So I feel very happy that like I've done that. There's still other heavy metal musicians' graves I've got to like visit in the near future and stuff. But like, for black metal, I just feel pretty accomplished today. So this map explains it much better. Like when you're driving to get to the cemetery, you make sure you enter at this one, like Österhaninge, because like that goes all the way up through there, through where like the cemetery is, and so like the cross is around here, and so I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Dead from Mayhem is buried in this area. Dead's suicide in 1991. Well, he was 22 years old, and he was in Mayhem at the time, and he died in the south of Oslo, I think near Ski, or somewhere not far from there. And I remember, like, he wrote like a suicide like list saying, "Apologize for the blood and excuse me for firing a gun inside." He slit his like wrists and all, but then they wouldn't kill him. So then he just got the shotgun out and blew his brains out. I think it was Euronymous or some other member of Mayhem actually found his like body, and he got a disposable camera. He started taking pictures of it. Now the urban myths I've heard about like Dead's like brains and stuff is like there's been a myth that Euronymous made a stew out of like Dead's brain, or like pieces of Dead's skull was like used as necklace and given to people in the black metal scene in Norway, which I'm pretty sure, I mean, Euronymous would have had a piece of Dead's skull. Not too sure if this is like true or not, but that's what like I learned from when I watched you know, Metal, A Headbanger's Journey with Sam Dunn, because he was like, oh, I'm going to interview two guys from like Mayhem. The lead singer like blew his brains out in 1991, and then they used pieces of his skull as a necklace. You know, that's how like I've like learned about like things in like rock and roll and stuff. Yeah. So I'm back at the church where I thought Dead was buried, and he's not buried here. So just like I'll give you a forewarning. You do have to like get off the bus and get off the road through the church, and then up around through there, and then up. Just keep walking up until you get to the cemetery. So in case you're wondering, no, Dead's not in the cemetery. He's in the cemetery a bit north. I should like put a photograph of it on Google Maps, like too. Now, after you visited Dead's grave from Mayhem, you've only got a few buses to get back to Österhaninge station. So I think we're at Gallo, so up around here, and it's 3 o'clock, so there's not going to be a bus until 4:55, and then there's only like a bus every hour. So you just keep that in mind, there's like no buses from like 11:39 till like 2 o'clock, and then from 2 o'clock to like 5 o'clock, before 5. So I guess I'm gonna walk a bit, cause you know, like I like walking and stuff, but fortunately there's no paths way for a while, so I'm gonna have to be a bit more careful walking across here. Yeah. And don't think I'm gonna call a taxi, okay? Because I'm living in one of the most expensive countries in Europe, and I'm not that stupid to pay for a taxi. I didn't pay for a taxi in Norway. I didn't pay for a taxi in my country of England. You know, I paid for a taxi in Macedonia on Friday. That's because I fucked up pretty badly, and I ended up missing that bus I was supposed to take to the airport, so I had to pay 20 euros. Well, it took me a long walk. So I mean, I walked all the way from here, Österhaninge, all the way across to Österhaninge. So I'm just taking the train back home. Bit of a walk, but I wasn't going to wait until 5 o'clock to get the bus home. Thought I'd just save myself some krona.